Today is International Savings Day, also known as World Thrift Day. This day is one where the world focuses on how savings can impact lives. This year, the theme is Savings Prepare You for a Better Future. Now, for some people, saving is simply the difference between income and expenditure. It is a little bit of what's left over after we've lived our lives to the fullest, popped a few bottles of whatever it is you drink, and rewarded ourselves for jobs well done. An afterthought. But however, for others, it's a lifestyle, a deliberate decision born of consistency, perseverance, sacrifice, and discipline. And whenever those people get paid, they subtract a fraction of their earnings and toss it towards the horizon. Joining me today to talk about World Savings Day is the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Piggy, which is, of course, a technology-based app, which we'll get into a little bit later. Eweniyi. Odun, welcome again to Business Edge. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, morning. Thank you for having me.
So in the intro before, what I skipped is one thing that we noticed was that in the year that Africa's savings rate changed, 2016, that was also the year that Piggy, a fintech company, which is helping people with all of this sort of savings thing, was founded. Do you think that was a coincidence? Are you one of those who's leading the charge for Africans to do more with their money?
I mean, I wouldn't take all the credit, but I'd like to think that we had something to do with like Nigeria's savings rates like increasing and improving in 2016, just as we launched. I think that one of the things that would be a testament to kind of how far and how much Africa's savings has grown is comparable and just directly proportional to how much Piggy has grown and kind of found progress within the Nigerian market. So as of today, we have north of 4 million people actively using the platform. And it was a platform that didn't exist 6.5 years ago. And just improving savings rate and improving how people kind of have their relationship with money. And how they put money aside, how they think about the future. Piggy cannot take all the credit, but Piggy did pioneer it in Nigeria, and I'm very proud of that.
I can see that sort of imaginary pat on the back happening there. Okay, so let's go through this.
We're definitely patting ourselves.
So let's go through this. In 5.5 years that the company has been there, what are some of the insights you can give us in terms of how and why Nigerians save? A lot of people think so many people are hustling and bustling. They're making daily living wages. How is it even possible for them to think about saving money on an app, however it may be? But it's not just about saving on an app, it's about saving, period. So what do you think are some of the trends and the insights you've seen in the past few years about how Nigerians are saving?
I think one of the first things that we learned is that savings is really about accessibility and affordability. When we started the company, the idea wasn't that there were 22 banks already in Nigeria when Piggy started, so you definitely had access to banking. But what we didn't have access to as young people was accessible, affordable, infrastructure that helped us save. So us being able to allow people to save as a minimum of 100 naira was something that kind of helped people start their savings. It also helped that we were particularly targeting people who are in our own generation, our own age mates, people who have the same challenges as we do. So one of the things that we've noticed since then is by, women have a higher propensity to actually put money aside than men, and they have a higher propensity aside for delayed gratification as well. So you see, even in with the Safe Law, for instance, that has 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months, we see women going a little further. They can go a year, they can go 2 years, and the men are kind of recycling the money a little faster. We also see that Nigerians kind of have a degree of trust increments for savings apps. Initially it was only the early adopters being willing to interact with Piggy, but today we have people from all kinds of generations. As a matter of fact, more than 10% of our platform is the Gen X's. Older people are actively now saving on the app. We're receiving calls, they're coming to the office, just wanting to save, right? I think what's really important here to note is we're in a kind of a tough period for Nigeria and Nigerians.
Yes.
And savings are definitely on the decline. But what we've noticed is, as it is on the decline with banking and banking infrastructure, is on the increase with savings apps like ourselves.
Okay, so let me ask about this, because sometimes we use these words interchangeably, saving and investment. And the potential to use your savings for investments is there, but many of us just use them as one and the same thing. But when you look at it all, how are we doing in terms of people really now looking to investments, making that money work a little bit more for them?
I think like it's a natural thing, right? That as people save and put aside money and kind of stockpile it, they'll start to wonder what else can I do with the money. So we started in 2016 and it was savings. And then in 2019, we actually changed our name from Piggy Bank.ng to PiggyVest, precisely because it's been a 3.5-year journey. And we had people on the platform now asking us, so what else? After I've saved for 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, 6 years, what else can I do with the money? And because of that, parlayed one part of our platform into offering them alternative investments, affordable investments in terms of commercial papers and debt notes, as well as other things. But for most Nigerians, investments is kind of the second step after saving. So you put money aside for a period. Now you want to earn more from it. Although I would argue that every time you put money into a savings instrument that will earn you 10%, 12%, 15%, you're already investing. But most people don't see it that way. And they see investment as more of you lock it in and use it for the long-term type thing.
All right, Odun, before I let you go, let's look at this theme for this year. I know there are a number of events lined up to celebrate International Savings Day. A number of events actually also targeted as women. As you've said, the research shows that women are actually better savers in the long run and actually very good with their investments. But the theme this year is savings prepare you for a better future. And as you've mentioned, things are difficult right now for many Nigerians and for many people across the continent. I had a conversation just before yours where it's possible that the Naira could go to around 950 to 1,000 Naira per dollar before the end of the year. And people will think, what am I saving for when I may not have any value for that savings in the near future? It's not many people who can dollarize their savings account, who can change it to foreign currency. The majority of Nigerians cannot do that. So when you think about it, savings prepare you for a better future. Is that something that holds true for you, especially in a time like this when the struggle is really real? My sister, let me tell you, the struggle is very real. As Nigerians might say, the pressure is getting, although you're supposed to finish it.
Worse.
It's getting worse. So all right, go ahead.
I think you're right. You're right. We have elevated poverty levels. We have rising inflation. We have high unemployment rate. We have low income. And we have weak purchasing power. All of these things are true. But what's truer is that we don't really have a choice when it comes to saving. I mean, survival comes first, and that's fact. But we don't really have a choice when it comes to saving. In as much as everything else is it seems to be attacking Nigerians at the same time, the truth is the bills don't go away. School fees don't go away. Feeding doesn't go away. Transport doesn't go away. And so I will always say that savings, it does prepare you for a better future. We can only hope that with proper social intervention and government intervention, our savings are going a longer way than they currently are going right now, and that we are able to kind of get slightly more empathy, better policies that make sure that for every Naira that a Nigerian earns, they're not having to think about, how much lower it is them to the dollar than it was 3 months ago, 6 months ago. I can understand fully how demoralizing that is. So I can only encourage people, right? Savings does prepare you for a better future. We must save just because our responsibilities don't go away regardless of the present day challenges that we're facing. But the struggle is real and we're kind of all in it together.
All right, so Odun, thank you so much. We'll leave it at that. Appreciate your time. This is the second time you're here. I know very soon we're going to have another conversation. In fact, how do you even save that 100 Naira, that 2,000? What do you do with it? So we look forward to having you back.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. It is International Savings Day, and while things may be very difficult and tight in the pocket for many of us, at the end of the day, just setting aside a little here and there could make the difference between what your tomorrow and that of your families looks like. You're watching Business Edge. What looks like it's coming up next is NC4 to watch, because I'm about to get out of here. Let's go.